Wade Carruth to contest the Tobago East seat. Former Assemblyman says Tobago seats could be a bargaining chip. PTSC officially launches much-needed concessionaire service in Tobago, and the APP reveals Tobago West candidate. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards. Welcome to the Tobago Updates television news for Wednesday, 26 March 2025. Tonight we begin with this. The Patriotic Front officially launched its campaign in Tobago today. Party leader Michaela Pandey officially introduced Wade Carruth and Arita Clark as the party's candidates for Tobago East and West, respectively. At a press conference in the Port Mall, during the event, they share the party's vision for serving Tobago, outlining their plans for the island should they gain control of the government. Reporter Candice Jackson tells us more.
That if the party was going to contest the two seats, then we should not have simply announced it from Trinidad.
Patriotic Front political leader Michaela Pandey expressed pride in the party's readiness for the 2025 elections, noting that despite it being the first time at the polls, they will be contesting both Tobago seats. For Pandey, contesting in Tobago is vital to building a strong national party.
I would have been in Tobago long ago. Have you ever tried to get a flight? That's something that we have to look at. Getting a flight, getting a boat, it is extremely difficult, especially on short notice. But I can't not be here again. I will come again. Yeah.
The Patriotic Front acknowledges that the issue of greater autonomy for Tobago is popular among candidates. However, Pandey believes it is an issue that should be led by Tobagonians rather than politicians.
Our view in the Patriotic Front is that the people must decide what they want. And a group of politicians mustn't sit in a room in Tobago or in Trinidad and decide what the people want.
Based on the views of Tobagonians, the Patriotic Front plans to allow for referendums and implement the necessary legislative changes for greater autonomy. In the meantime, Pandey expressed a desire to work alongside the THA if elected into government.
And the goal is the people. And if the goal is the people, we're not children. We must be able to sit down and talk to each other and say what is going to be in the best interest of the people, not the best interest of politicians.
The Patriotic Front has pledged to address issues such as crime, employment opportunities for young people, and social support if elected into government. Pandey believes that tackling these problems begins with prioritizing the resolution of land tenure issues for Tobagonians.
When people have ownership of land, they have dignity. They can go to the bank. They can get collateral. They can start a business. They start to feel better about themselves. So land ownership is a big issue in Tobago.
The Patriotic Front also aims to strengthen the sporting industry, improve agriculture, and provide better educational opportunities for Tobagonians. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Well, the Patriotic Front has selected Wade Carruth as its candidate for Tobago East, joining Arita Clark, who is contesting Tobago West. The party hopes that together they can deliver the political change that grassroots supporters are demanding. Here's more.
Meet Wade Carruth. He is the Patriotic Front's candidate for Tobago East.
Originally from Argyle and Glamorgan, where a lot of my family still reside. I have a background in various areas that are important to Tobago's development, mainly agriculture, the fishing industry. I'm also a part of the creative industry here in Tobago.
Carruth says he has always been actively involved in Tobago's communities and wants to continue making a positive impact. Though he became discouraged by the current political climate, he saw the Patriotic Front as the right platform to drive progress for the people of Tobago East.
To me, the Patriotic Front represents that. From the day Miss Michaela Pandey has put forward herself, I have been observing her, and the narrative has been completely different from the usual politics. The mudslinging has not been present. We have seen a form of politics that is people-centered.
Having spent time at the grassroots level, Carruth said he understands the frustrations of Tobagonians and is committed to addressing their concerns.
We are fed up. The youth are fed up. Tobagonians are fed up. And it's time that politics takes back a face of democracy. Democracy has been taken away from politics. People view politicians as crooks.
While greater autonomy and increased budgetary allocations are key issues for Tobago, Karut also aims to improve the lives of Tobagonians through various government policies.
We, and I personally, hear the people, and I hear and understand the cries and the concerns of the people who have been or felt like they have been betrayed or who felt like they have gone through a lot.
Despite growing competition, with more candidates announcing their intentions to run for Tobago East, Karut remains confident of his victory. He also plans to continue supporting the Patriotic Front beyond the April 28th general election.
The Patriotic Front is that party that can bring that change. And as the name says, the Patriotic Front. Patriots are people who fight for their country. And the front is that we are on the front lines fighting for this country, not in some office that the people cannot reach.
Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Dexter James has been named as the All People's Party candidate for the Tobago West seat. This party is led by Kiesel Jackson. One of James's major concerns is Tobago's budgetary allocation.
So Tobago, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to basically be your prospective candidate for the Tobago West seat. Right, Tobago holds a special place in my heart. But one of the things that needs to be addressed in Tobago is the development. A development budget of nearly $300 million allocation per year, or the $261 million allocation per year, is just not enough.
He called out Minister Shamfor Cudjoe-Lewis for failing to properly advocate on behalf of Tobagonians.
So Ms. Cudjoe, you have been serving us as a member of parliament for the last couple of years. You have failed. You have encouraged me to come forward, to put myself forward as a candidate to defeat you and have you remove yourself from government.
James is calling on young people to come out to the polls and vote for the All People's Party.
Right? If we want to see a better future, if we want to see our jobs opportunities in terms of when we come out of secondary schools, when we come out of tertiary education, and we want to see that we are able to go into the field instead of having to leave our home country to go elsewhere to feel like if we're getting deserving of what we want, we need to be a part of something new. And the only way of being a part of something new is to vote for APP.
We take a short break and come back with more. Stay tuned.
You've heard a voice on the radio, seen her in your worship, and have sung her songs during your time of praise. Sinesh.
Everybody now, let's go!
Sinesh comes to Tobago for Melodies from Heaven on April 17th. The Shaw Park Complex alights with praise and worship from 6 p.m. for Melodies from Heaven featuring Sinesh.
I shall not want the Lord has
Samuel Maydess.
You'll be the only one who's excited to call your name.
Positive.
Me never could have changed my mind.
Blessed Messenger.
Give blood of Jesus over your family.
Renee Fortune and many more.
from my head to my feet.
Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. April 17th at Shaw Park Complex. Melodies from Heaven. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over armed vehicles, designed and manufactured in armed vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With Amplia, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. Amplia. Do more, live more.
Welcome back. If either or both of the Tobago seats are won by a party other than the PNM, they could become a bargaining chip in forming the next government with the UNC. That's according to former Assemblyman Max James. He clarified that this does not mean Tobago-based parties are currently colluding with the UNC or aligning with its philosophy. However, he believes there's no realistic way to enter Parliament holding Tobago's seats without eventually aligning with one of the two major parties that are most likely to form the central government. He explains in this Candace Jackson report.
Throughout the country's political history, Tobago seats have partnered with the UNC and the 1986 NER coalition to form governments, except when won by the PNM. For this reason, former Assemblyman Max James believes partnership with the UNC is inevitable if seats aren't won by the PNM.
In any event, the PNM has always said, through the former leader, deceased leader Patrick Manning, they have always said they will lose alone, they'll go out of power alone, all right, and then come back alone.
PDP leader Watson Duke has already expressed his willingness to work with either the UNC or the PNM to help form the next government. If he wins the Tobago East seat, he plans to leverage it for the position of Prime Minister, aiming to secure self-determination and increase budgetary allocations for Tobago. Meanwhile, the TPP insists it is not aligning with any party ahead of the elections, though the PNM continues to accuse it of colluding with the UNC, a claim the UNC has repeatedly denied. Despite this, James believes that whether the TPP, PDP, IDA or Patriotic Front wins the Tobago seats, their best chance at securing better representation for the island would be through negotiations with the UNC.
Where you have 39 candidates on the UNC side and you have 2 in Tobago, given the history of this matter, PNM versus Tobago, and UNC's involvement in the politics of Trinidad and Tobago, quite naturally, the seats will give their support to the UNC.
James believes that such a partnership is the only viable way to address key issues like greater autonomy and increased budgetary allocations for Tobago.
The UNC is on record of supporting autonomy. The UNC is on record of supporting an improved and increased allocation for Tobago. I think that what we have to do now is to do the work and ensure that those 2 seats are won in the next elections.
He argued that the PNM had 10 years to deliver greater autonomy and increase budgetary allocations under Tobago East MP Ayanna Webster Roy and Tobago West MP Shampa Cajole Lewis, but were unsuccessful in their attempts. While he acknowledged their achievements, he believes a new approach is needed. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
To some other news now. Residents of rural communities like Charlottesville and Lansfomé rely heavily on public transportation for their daily commutes. In response to ongoing challenges with timely and efficient transportation to work and school, PTSC has introduced a public-private partnership aimed at improving public transportation accessibility in these remote areas. Reporter Joe Sheldon tells us more.
Dr. Brian James, chairman of PTSC, announced that on January 13th, they launched a private concessionaire service to improve transportation access to Tobago's rural communities. This initiative was introduced in response to consumer demands for greater efficiency and reliability. James stated that so far, the service has been well utilized and appreciated by residents.
For Lansfomé, it was 16,254 passengers. And Charlottesville, it was 14,345 passengers, a total of 30,599. The Maxi Taxi concessionaire transport for the same period contributed 9,120 passengers, an increase of over 42%. I think we need to give ourselves a
Trinidad and Tobago will receive 300 new buses between 2025 and 2027, including 240 electric and 60 CNG diesel models, an important step towards greener transportation.
Now, cognizant of the economic climate, this will be rolled out in 3 phases. So, in the first phase, we have 100 buses in 2025, 100 buses in 2026, and 100 buses in 2027. So that is how it's going to be rolled out over the next 3 years. And so this year, we are hoping that we receive that 100 buses. Maybe later in the latter part of this year, we should receive those 100 buses.
He announced that PTSC bus stops will soon be equipped with free Wi-Fi, lighting, and security cameras, which would enhance commuter safety and service efficiency. According to James, PTSC is currently developing a mobile app to allow commuters to check schedules and track bus movements in real time. In the meantime, commuters can access a WhatsApp chat for travel updates.
We have identified 173 bus stops, but in the immediate near future, we'll be installing 40 of these throughout Tobago, throughout Lands for Me and Charlottesville, Minister, right? And these bus stops will be equipped with a QR code. So if you use your phones, and this will send your phone to a platform, a WhatsApp chat, that will update you on where the bus is at.
The official commissioning of the Maxi Taxi concessionaire service to Charlottesville and Lands for Me was held on Tuesday, 25th March at the Palativia Community Center. Jo Sheldon, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Meanwhile, residents of Palativia and surrounding communities celebrated the official launch of the PTSC concessionaire service to Charlottesville and Lands for Me. This initiative comes in response to long-standing transportation challenges that have made it difficult for them to travel outside of the area. Speaking at the event, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine and Minister Ayanna Webster Roy expressed gratitude and shared personal experiences using the PTSC service. Meanwhile, resident Gracelyn Phillips Williams also commended the initiative, noting her satisfaction with the service, which has been in operation since early January. Here's more.
Chief Secretary Farley Augustine acknowledged the transportation challenges in the area, citing a recent unfortunate incident that occurred last month. He expressed gratitude for PTSC's swift response in addressing the ongoing transportation challenges.
To express sincerest gratitude to PTSC for how quickly you responded. I mean, as I said, it was just May 24th last year we had that meeting, and by January of this year we had a rollout of the service. And I am very much grateful for how quickly you all responded. It meant that the meetings we had, you didn't just have a meeting to say, well, I'm in Tobago, so I'm going to meet the Chief Sec. You actually sat and you did something about the issues that were being raised.
MP Ayanna Webster Roy acknowledged her shared experience with the Chief Secretary in using the service during their school years, allowing her to relate to residents' concerns. Despite political differences, she supports his vision, which aligns with her goal of establishing a transportation hub in Roxborough. She now awaits his approval for land allocation to advance the project.
Another thing we would have discussed is ensuring that we get the long-promised petrol station for this community. And I said to Honorable Chief Secretary, just let me know when the land is available, because National Petroleum MP has the funds waiting to establish this long-awaited facility.
Resident Gracelyn Phillips Williams said she has been enjoying the service thus far.
So I just want to say, congratulations, it's a very good job. You know, they are doing a very good job, especially the lady. You know, she's very polite, very friendly, and at times she plays some nice gospel music. So you sit back, relax, and take in the gospel music, right? And I applaud you for that.
Jo Sheldon, Tobago Updates, Television News.
You're watching the Tobago Updates Television News. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. More news after this.
Welcome to to the Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival on April 19th, 2025. We invite you to an evening of smooth rhythms and soulful music as the sun dips behind Buku Bay. Let all your senses be tantalized. Enjoy an array of seafood dishes, browse crafts and designs created by local artisans, and lose yourself in the soulful melodies of John Sakata, Brian McKnight,
Undeniable that we should be together.
Bonnet Bigford,
When the lightning crack the waters and the waves roll and break.
Mikal Teja,
I go, without you, my side.
and the best of Tobago's talent. Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. The Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival, April 19th at Buku Integrated Facility. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
Thanks for staying with us. Another drug bust in Tobago. A joint law enforcement operation in the Roxborough district led to the discovery of a cannabis grow house and the seizure of 32 fully grown cannabis trees on Saturday, March 22nd. The intelligence-led raid conducted between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. in the Rose Hill, Delaford area involved officers from the Tobago Divisional Task Force, K9 Unit, Interagency Task Force, Guard and Emergency Branch, and the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment. During the search, officers secured the area and searched multiple homes, uncovering the grow house at one residence. The cannabis plants, with an estimated street value of $13,000, were confiscated and 2 suspects were arrested. PC Thorpe of the Tobago Divisional Task Force is leading ongoing investigations. The CARICOM Reparations Commission joins the global community in observing the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery and the Transatlantic Slave Trade, reflecting on the horrors of this dark chapter in history. The day honors the millions of Africans forcibly displaced and subjected to unimaginable suffering. This observance coincides with the start of the United Nations' second International Decade of People of African Descent 2025 to 2034, which aims to confront the ongoing impacts of colonialization and enslavement. The Commission continues its fight for reparations, highlighting systemic inequality, racial discrimination, and intergenerational poverty. The Commission calls on the global community to recognize these legacies and commit to healing, reconciliation, and dignity for victims and their descendants, especially reparatory justice for people of African descent. Our weather report is up next. Stay with us.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
The Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm. On Easter weekend 2025, Tobago is the place to be from April 17th to 20th. The rhythm, the soul of Tobago. On Thursday, April 17th, get ready for a worship experience at the Shore Park Complex with Melodies from Heaven. Melodies from Heaven. Then on Saturday, 19th April, immerse yourself in the sun, sea, and sand at the Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival, featuring legends of R&B. On Sunday, 20th April, we bring the curtains down at Parade Grounds, Dwight York Stadium for Fusion. Get your tickets on islandetickets.com now or visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Now for a look at the weather report from the TNT Met Office. Tonight is expected to be generally fair, despite 1 or 2 isolated showers mainly after midnight. Tonight's temperature drops to 25 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow mainly sunny, slightly hazy and breezy, except for some isolated showery spells favoring the morning period. Overnight will be generally fair with a gentle breeze. Daytime temperatures are set to reach 32 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 32 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate with waves 2 to 2.5 meters in open waters and 1 to 1.5 meters in sheltered areas. The sunrise is expected at 6:02 and the sunset at 6:13. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Here's a recap of our headlines. Wade Carruth to contest the Tobago East seat under the Patriotic Front. Former Assemblyman says Tobago seats could be bargaining chips. PTSC officially launches much-needed concessionaire service in Tobago, and the APP reveals its Tobago West candidate. I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards, thanking you so much for joining us and wishing you a great night.